Hi, this is Cherie with Rehash Fiber, and today we're going to talk about blocking your finished fiber art item. Welcome all you happy fiber artists. All right, today we're going to talk about the final step in your fiber art handmade item. It's something very valuable to do, and it makes your garment look great. If you're brand new to knitting and you're blocking for the first time, blocking is when you take your finished garment and you pin it to a board, and then you finish it by making it wet and letting it dry, and it gives it a great look. So the first thing I want you to know is that you have complete control and you have options. So we're going to start with option number one. What kind of board do you want to put it on? And when I say board, I mean cardboard or foam. So I'm going to show you the two that I use. This I bought when I first started knitting 25 years ago. It's lasted the whole time. Bought it from a local fabric shop. It is 6-fold, so it goes very big, will cover the whole bed, and it is perfect for pinning large items on, say shawls. And you can see through the years it's got a bit warped. It's got some staining, but that's just in the cardboard. It never gets on the item. And it's been well worth the money because I've used it a lot and it's perfect. Now, if you want something not quite so big or bulky, I just had to try these out. I've got foam blocks that go together like a puzzle piece. So you can line them all up in a row if you've got like a nice little wrap that you want to put on it. You can make it a square for if you've got a sweater. It only goes so big unless you're going to buy a couple of these. Then you can make it as big as you want. What I do like it is that I can use just one square for something small like the gloves or a hat, and you can just set it off somewhere on a chair and your piece can block. It's great. It came with pins. It was made with the knitter in mind. It's called KnitIQ, and I got it from Amazon. Very handy to have. If you've noticed how there are inch marks on both of these, to me, this is critical because it makes it so much easier. You don't have to take a measuring tape and check it all the time. You just lay out your garment, figure out your inches, and pin it to that. I find it super helpful. So your next option, believe it or not, is to block or not to block. However, I'm going to tell you, you want to block. 99.9% of the time, your pattern will say weave in the ends and block it. And yes, you do, because it's going to give you that nice, beautiful, finished look. Like say when you've sewn an item and you iron it and it's crisp and looks good. And so that's what it does to our fiber art items. Be it knit, crochet, or weaving, you do want to block it. In 25 years, there's only been 3 times I did not block. And this is why. I wove a lovely scarf with baby fezza. It's got a nice pattern in it. It's got really neat different yarns in it, all in that same skein that they sold. It's got a variety of different yarns in it. It looks very interesting. I don't mind that it's puckered at the side because of the Brooks bouquet pattern. When it was done, I thought, I love it. I didn't need to block it. I've worn it many times, happy, it's fine. This did not need finishing because it looked finished when it was done. The other thing was a stocking cap that I made for myself. When I was done, put it on my head, looked great. I'm like, didn't need to finish it. And another thing, I recently crocheted this rug. It's a thick, woolly, itchy yarn that when it came out, I really liked it, but this does not need finishing. To me, it looks great and it's gonna get stepped on, so it's good. So I would say 3 items in 25 years. You kind of see how that works there. Everything else gets blocked and it's worth it. So your next option is, how wet do you want to make your garment? Now, when I look at it and it looks good, I will pin it to one of these and I will squirt it with a squirt bottle of water. I'll make it damp enough so that it just helps all the fibers lay down. That's all that's needed. Now, recently I finished a knit t-shirt that looked like it had been manhandled because I had knit it and stuffed it in bags and stuff like that. It really just needs to be soaked. You can fill a sink of water, get the item completely wet, take it out, roll it in a towel to get out the excess water, and then pin it. I usually have a ceiling fan on in the room that it's drying. That just helps it dry a little bit. It usually just takes overnight. Lastly, here's something else to think about. If you've made a garment to size, say a knitted sweater, try it on before blocking it. If you love the way it fits, don't stretch it. I would just pin it, squirt it with a spray bottle, and let it dry that way. Now, if you're making something and you wanted it to match the size and the pattern, and it was smaller than that, you could soak it and stretch it a bit to try to get it closer to the size that you want it to be. Those are your options. So I want to let you in on something I learned recently. I was knitting the Marie Wallens sweater, which is Fair Isle all the way. And when I get a pattern, I don't read it all the way through because it's too much information for me. So I usually glance at what I need to do to get started. I'll maybe glance throughout it to make sure I'm not going to miss something key that I need to do or change midway. But I never look at the finishing part. So as I'm knitting this sweater and I'm looking at the picture on the pattern, I'm thinking that looks so much nicer than what I'm doing. Am I floating the yarn wrong? I don't know. So I read the finishing part and it says turn inside out and use a steam iron with a wet cloth in between to finish the item. That's what did it. Made all the stitches look really nice and even. Finished it out perfectly. Brand spanking new to me. So now you know about it. And that's how this goes. When I learn of something, I'm going to share it with you so that we all know these different things. So that covers blocking for today. We're going to give a big hand to Rocky today. He joined us for the show, however, napping through the show, but he was a good boy the whole time. Every now and then I could feel his big tail banging against my back, which I thought was kind of sweet because he's with us. And I love having him around. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, the technical issues with the video of my trip to Fiber Art Gallery, hopefully that's all worked out. For the first time in hundreds of videos, it did not upload properly to YouTube. Something happened and it was enlarged and distorted. And some of you watched it and I'm like, I don't know how, because I couldn't even take 1 minute of it. It was crazy. So immediately it went down. I worked on the technical issues this week. I could not figure it out. So now it's in Google, YouTube's hands, and hopefully they will resolve it. And hopefully by now it's resolved because it's worth checking out. Fabulous yarn store in Inverness, Florida. So there's your explanation on that. So there's one more thing, and I figure I might as well let you, the World Wide Web of people, help me out. Because there are fiber adventures that I want to have, which means we will all experience. And I'm going to put them on my website, things that I'm looking to do, because you never know which one of you has that going on right in their environment and can let me know. So for instance, here are the things I'm looking to do, and I need all the eyes and ears out there to link me to the people that can help me get these experiences. I would like to collect buffalo fur from fence lines or trees or wherever they shed. I would like to be a part of a shearing of sheep. I would like to know what the fiber world is like in Prague. And the same goes for Quito, Ecuador. Anything that has to do with fiber, I would like to explore. So those are the things on the list right now. Continue to check the website for upcoming adventures that I look to take us all on. That covers it for today. Happy blocking and finishing up your fiber art item, and thanks for watching.